中島さんは今何をおっしゃいと言いますか。あなた遅いです。
Our next film here is called Robocop. This is a Canadian film. It's based on the original Robocop, not the pilots and the movies that came afterwards, or I mean the television shows and the movies that came afterwards. Once again, we find Murphy is involved in an explosion. They have to remove parts of his body. But this film misses one element. In the original movie, you have this perfectly shaped arm. And it's the only thing he's got left, and the man in charge of the operation, or the building robots, has the good arm removed so that Murphy becomes a total robot. I found that to be a very heartbreaking scene, knowing that that Murphy had no ability to question the order, and he just had this perfectly good arm removed just for the sake of turning him into an entire robot. That doesn't occur here, but instead of trying to save the parts that he does have, they've cut off everything except for his lungs, his M1 hand, and they show what Murphy looks like without his mechanisms, his robotic mechanisms, and it's just really creepy because parts of his brain are missing. You can actually see what's left of it. As an action adventure flick goes, this is really good, very entertaining, but it equals the first Robocop. If you like the first Robocop, then you'll like this too. It's the same thing, but more up to date for our present news. If you pay attention to the news, for our present news, what's going on in the world today, this is more updated for that. That's the only difference. Except, as I mentioned before, the cruelty of removing limbs without telling the person that you're removing their good limb. I especially like the part of the movie where Murphy comes home to his family and he meets his son sitting there in the chair looking at his father. This is probably one of the most exquisite child acting I've ever seen. If you look at the expression in this child's face, seeing his father for the first time after the operation, is just an incredible thing to see, because the acting from this kid was perfect for that particular scene. The shock and the horror and trying to figure out what to do next, it was just incredible. This movie, for that alone, is well worth watching.